Alright, let's do this shit. Get everything geared up. Do some trade review. Probably only gonna do one. Alright. Cool. So I'm going to do a Fade Trade 6 review here. And this is for Tuesday, 2018. Let me take a look here. Let's pause this thing. This was actually a really fucking good day. Lots of opportunity. And if you take a look at this chart right here, totally fucking good move right here. Especially after this news report. So let me show you here. This Jerome Powell speaks. I believe this guy's with the Fed. Let's take a look here. Yeah, Federal Reserve Chair, this Jerome Powell fuck. Spoke at 7:30, and there was a shitload of movement. I'm a little late to the party to review this thing. But anyways, let's see here. Going to go ahead and review the motherfucker. Fade 6. And just going to kind of show you where the opportunity was on this particular trade. So, also, you had all this other fucking news that came out there as well. But, I mean, if you're looking at the chart, the 10-year, just this hard bounce, and it ripped back up. And there was good opportunity right here. I could see it on Tuesday. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. So about 7:28 is when everybody's gearing up for the news release here. And I guess this Jerome Powell guy is a huge mover. So this is 7:28 right now. You're looking, really this middle one right here is what I'm trading. So 7:28. Trying new stuff with the setup too. This right here in the middle is my ES. Just because it's over here as well. I just like to see it rip up and down. But during the morning, there's a good range play here between 25 and 40. But we're gearing up for the drop. Lots of bid and asks are drying up. So let's see if we can identify where this fade would be, which is going to be at 18.5, way down here. So it really rips down. And you got to be careful on these news releases. You can't just jump into it right away. You can get killed. So you want the numbers to kind of stable out. So the news reports in 1 minute, 7:29. Bids and asks have pulled away quite substantially, actually. And there she goes. We're looking for that 185 levels where it bounced. Obviously, lots of volume. And it comes back up here. Still no bid and ask. The volume's very, very light. So again, we're looking for it to drop here. I'm gonna pause it real quick. So 7:32 is when we finally hit that bottom and bounce. 185. So again, 185 is where it's gonna be our fade point, and you're not gonna be looking for a trade here just because the bids and asks are way too low. Well, let's see if anything can cue us off here. That we've reached the bottom. Everything's still slightly a little low. It's 731. Bids and ask are slightly low. So very frantic. 200 just hit this 2015, then another 400 came in on the bid. But numbers are starting to stabilize here. So, maybe right here you might consider looking for a possible trade, but of course it's breaking through and it's testing it. So to me, that's telling me it's going to break lower. But again, we're looking for this this fade ultimately. Lots of auctioning activity, and what I'm going to do, since this is trade review, I like to fill this shit out. So what is the date on this one? The 27th. So 2/27. Definitely suggest doing this. This is what my fucking Friday nights consist of. The trade happened at 7:32. So, gonna just fill out some of the information we already know. 7:32. Yeah, definitely fucking news on that one. I'm probably gonna fill out what exactly it was. The Jerome Powell speaking. So, this guy can move markets. I was done because I was very tired. I didn't see the 10 a.m. Jerome Powell speaks, so we'll do a. Oops. Gonna have to make this news column bigger. Control. There we go. We're gonna paste here. Jerome Powell speaks. And then what else do we have? Was there anything else important? Durable goods and international trade in goods right here. These are, and they, all this shit came out at exactly the same time. These three news reports. So that's why you got so much fucking intense movement right there. Durable goods right here. So we'll go ahead and put durable goods in. Oops, fuck me, right? Can I fix this? Okay, whatever. Durable goods, whatever. Velocity, slow, medium. I would say it's very fast on that one. High auction activity. So let's go back to this. So we're about to reach the bottom, right? At 7:32. So was there a lot of chop in here? Let's go back a little bit, because that can be important. There actually was a lot of chop, actually, now that I think about it. So we'll go back to 7:30. Okay. So you got this up. You got this up, and then it's going to drop down. So again, 2 minutes till we hit that bottom. Down. Yes is not necessarily inverted with it. Yes seems like it's dragging it down, going down. We back up here. So we have a back tick. And generally that sort of back ticking you would consider a fade when it came back to here. If it came back to here, you would want to fade it up. But it not after this news release. You want to give it like a minute or two. I want to say auctioning activity is super high. Yeah, it seems like the ES is dragging it down. Lots of auction activity. Lots of auction activity. That's always good. So, you know, you have the back tick. You're going to see my mouse on there because I was trading that day. Lots of back ticking. So it's hard to really call this bottom when it's doing that. So we want to see if anything clues us off. Obviously, we have this heavy volume that traded right here. Not super heavy, but it seems like it was almost building a step right here. Now the ES is climbing back up. Kind of slowing down. Everything just got relined right there. So we definitely have chop. So I want to go ahead and answer that question. Yes, there was chop. Spreading. No, there's no spreading. Yes, correlation. Well, I'm not fucking sure. Major support resistant. No, couldn't see one on that. It's gonna be a bottom edge. Bottom edge. That's what my Friday nights consist of, right? So let's go back to the video here. Give me just a second here. All right, so let's continue. And again, we're looking for that 185. We got a little bit of back ticking there. And then it just cleared a shitload. Now, right here, this is where it's going to reverse. It's going to bounce here, and it's going to bounce. I'm not sure how long it's going to be down here for. So you're having your back ticking there. And it's very hard to call this. Now you're starting to have a little bit of absorption. This 28's building, but that's not unusual. 31's, and now it's dropping back in. So it's really hard to make a call on this bottom here. But it seems like it's really stalled out. Now you got 4,000, which is slightly bigger than what has traded on the way down. And here, right here in the 5-year, you got this 1840. Nothing in the 30 bonds. What else do we have over here? Ultra bonds not really giving us any clues. TN maybe, because we have 342 and 314 down here. So and that's the thing. Nothing's hitting this right here. Nothing's hitting 180. And there, right there, is probably your clue. Is there's 137 here on 190, and this is what's telling you, hey, you should fade. Is the bonds are going up. Bonds have gone up 4 ticks. Yeah, 4 ticks right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 years gone up 1 tick. Ultra bond, it's going up, but Ultra bond's thin, so it'll do that. TN is off 1 tick, so that right then there, that's right there is telling us it's going to go up. So you totally had a clue about what was going to happen there. and then I know it gets stuck somewhere up here. But that was the trade. That was the opportunity right there. And if you would have held on to that, that would have been some pretty decent shit. So we'll go back to the chart, and we're going to like answer some questions on here. This is my spreadsheet. Obvious, pretty big tick winner there. Let's see. Are steps built before the fade? We could probably answer this one. ES correlation. Shit. Let me see here. Let's see if there is any ES correlation on this. I'm gonna rewind it. So this is the point where it should really drop. Let's see. This is the ES right here, or this one. They're both the same. Not really. Let's see if the ES does anything when this drops in 3 ticks, which is this one right here, and smack dab in the middle. No, there's really no correlation at all. No correlation. And we're at that level again, so we'll come over here. When 732, let's see, what is it, 185? Yeah, that's right, 185. Correlation, no. Bottom edge, any steps built, we'll get to that later. Playtime, probably a minute. 1 minute. Chop. Yeah, it had chop. Oops. Let's see. Was there a lean size? That'll be interesting when we get there. Let's go back to the DOMs. Is there a step being built? Yeah, sort of. But we're down here for a while, and the 30-year over here has already bounced. So, what time is it? 7:33. Let's go back to 7:32, right? Slightly back to see how the bond. I want to see how the bonds react to this. So the bonds are already off their lows. They've gone down there. And they've bounced back up, right? Okay, now the bonds have gone down. Bonds are trying to tick back up, and so is everything else. And you can see my crazy mouse from the actual trading session where I'm calling shit out. Okay, now we're at the very low. There we go, the bonds. So 30.23. 30.23. Boom. God, that shit just ripped down. So it just ripped the fuck down, and then it just immediately came back up 2 ticks. So let's rewind that again. 30.29. Go to 30.21 here. Oh, let's go back just slightly more. Okay. So the 30-year is going to take a dump. This is a very hard trade to like jump into just because of how fast it's moving and how much information you need to take in. But the way the 30-year just bounced and came back up, that's like a clue, really. So let's see if anything else. The Ultra Bond as well. TN's about to tick off. And 30 years just not going back down. So 10 years starting to build those profiles. We're stalling. Nothing's hitting 180. So at this point, you want to consider getting in, and I can see why. Okay, so we're definitely going to go to the notes section. 30-year and Ultra. Actually, no, I'm going to use their proper things here. ZB and UB bounced off lows. And held 4 ticks off lows. ZN stalled and built size at low. Did it build a profile step? Ah, man. Let's take a look. Yes and no. Now, the bid and ask size have returned to normal because everybody pulls off for the news release. Everybody gets out of the trade. But now we're like 3 minutes in after the release. And at this point, we're not going to see the bottom again. That was that for the day. So, yeah, it did build some size there. It did build profile steps in a sense. So it's a little difficult to answer because I do have a question on that. So let's go back here because that was the trade right there. So our steps built before the fade. Yes. No. Shit. I put yes, no. 2 steps were built. Possible void. And then also this happened in the 10-year, so that's the end. Total contracts traded at steps. Okay. So 185 would be how many contracts was that? 2392 cars. So cars is contracts. And the 190 price level would be 5,078 cars. Cancels pulls. Okay, we're gonna get into that section of the trade. And then we're almost done. Let's see where the profit zone is, though. Realistically, let's see where the profit zone would be. So I'm gonna go back ever so slightly. So you'd definitely be in here if you were quick enough to get into it. So right here, there's a big step built. It's not that big. It's about 5,068. But my theory was during the live session was it would go back up here where these giant profile steps were. The news release just knocked it down. And I just felt like that it would go back up there, which it eventually does. So profit zone. Let's take a look at a chart real quick and see if there's anything that kind of at 737 there's another rip up. So yeah, right about here was where we get stuck, which will be about 2005. So you do get stuck here for about 3 minutes. Yeah, I would definitely seen how big this profile step is starting to build at this 200 and how it's just going to get stuck here. I would work this out over here, but again, it's getting weak and then it bounces back in there. It eventually does rip up. Yeah, this is one of those points. I would have gotten out at this 200 level. Being a scalper and stuff. I actually thought about getting in here during the legit trade session because that would have been a good point to go up on. But yeah, so a tick profit would be two ticks maybe. But I keep seeing a weakness right here. At 205 just shows a lot of weakness. I mean, the profit potential on this one obviously would have been really good. Now there's no more weakness there. Everybody's distributing right here. So and we moved through a pressure point to get to this area. Like nothing's traded here at 195. And UB's been cranking up. So, you know, that would have been a two ticks. Two ticks on that one. Obvious profit zone. Step building. Put profile step building up. All right. So yeah, was there a lean size bid versus ask? This is all when it was going down. Now we got to get in the thick of the action to answer all this shit. Again, what time? 7:32. So we need to go back to 7:32. 7:35. I'll go back more. 733. Come on, go back in time, please. 731. All right, here's 732. Okay, it's about to rip down. All right, we're looking at the 185 level. This was a difficult trade. This would be very difficult to make a rational decision in, like to be quick on it. Like you have to be fast, but it totally several times throughout this trade it had back ticking, so the chop is confusing of when to get in. And again, it's just dropping right here. How do you know it's going to theoretically hold, right? And right here, so you're going to watch the blue and the red right here, the bid and the ask. What are these numbers doing? So, it's weak here on the bid, so it gets took out. Boom, they take that out, immediate back ticking. The bonds are off the low. They're about even, the bid and the ask. So the blue and the red are even here. We have 608 versus 602. So the buyers and the sellers here. And then all of a sudden you've seen it go down the 192 right here. That would have been hard to really catch in real life. But buyers are definitely digging in here. And fuck, man, this would have been a very difficult trade to just... Nothing is tapping 180. That's the thing. It's gone down there several times. So how many times has it ticked back up? And now, there we go. That was it. That was the key to let you know that was to get in. So you've had this tick back up. So I think this is like just a good example of what you're looking for in a trade. So we'll go back. Now that I'm looking at it, I could definitely see why this would, if I seen this again, I would take the trade. I can see why. So it's going to rip down to where the bid is in the 180 zone. So when that happens, how many times does it tick back? Because that is a question. So... aggressive tick back, that's what we're going to answer. I want to know how many times it does it. So 1. So it came down here once, and the sellers broke it down to 180, and then buyers immediately bought it back up to 185. And sellers did not sell one single contract into 180 at all. So that's 1 tick back. There's another tick back, and that was a tick back up. So buyers ended up buying, and that was happening, though. That's the thing. That was already originally happening. But you have such tremendous down pressure that it's going to have to fade sooner or later. And this is probably the point. So far we've had the 1 tick back plus the 1 going up. Here's going to be your second tick back there. Boom, there it goes. 2, 3. And there it went up again. So, shit. That just totally tells you it. So we have, I'm going to put 3 here. Go back. There may even be another one. No, that was it. Okay. All right, so how can I answer this question? 3 at the bottom trying to answer this as best as I can. So we had 3 aggressive tick backs at the bottom. Buyers ticked up once, or fuck shit. Buyers ticked up twice. I don't know how to word this very well. 3 at the bottom. Buyers ticked up twice. Let's see. 3. Actually, if I put the price points where it happened, 180 to 185. To from 185 to 195 or 190 before fade was before fade was over. So what order did that go in? I kind of want to know how that order played out. And I think I really think doing these trade reviews, seeing where the tops and bottoms are for fades, is definitely helps. When you can fast forward all this shit. So we're at 7:33. We need to go back in time. Jump in our DeLorean. Go back in time. Need to go back. So I want to know what order that tick back. And I'll totally call it out so you can see it. So it's all going to take a poo-poo right here and just drop in. So you're having this tick backing here at this 185 level, actually. Right? So you do have stalling, and they do break it by 1 tick. So let's go back a few seconds here. One tick back on the bottom. So how can I word this? It goes 1 at 180. And then I think there's a tick up at this point. Let's see. Yep, there's the one. It went back up. So 180, 1 185, or actually to 190, right? Yeah. 1 to 190. Shit. And I'm typing all this, so we go 190. Here's your other tick back. That's 2, so we got another one down there. 3. Okay, so there's your then you have 2 at 180 again. And then I think we go tick up 190 right here. Boom, there it is, and it drops back in. That is your fucking clue. That is your goddamn clue. That is your fucking clue. And then it goes 190. So just to kind of show you how I did that, the tick backs, aggressive tick back. I mean, I understand this, so that's may look foreign. So we had 3 tick backs at 180 to 185 level, and then 2 from 185 to 190 before fade was over. That was your opportunity to get in. So you had it went 1 tick 180, 1 tick 190, 2 ticks at 180, 1 tick 190, and then it left. Not to mention the 30-year is definitely has bounced off the low, and it's been off the low, and the UB's off the low as well. That's just, they aggressively bounced there and they just went up, and stayed up. They didn't stay down here at all. I mean, 55 contracts traded here, 315, 375. That shit got cleared out so fast. It went boom, 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 boom. I think that alone really is telling you where the fade is. But let's go back here because bid versus S, we need to know this. But before I do that, there was something interesting I do need to point out on this. Let's go back. Okay, now check this out, right? So we're going to drop in again. So we're at 200. We're going to drop down to 185. Hell, that looked like a breakout trade just to begin with. Man, I wish I would have seen that shit. Make fucking 4 ticks on that. So now you've had a tick back here, right? At 185, 2 tick backs. All right. That just... So let's go back. You had 2 tick backs at 180. It stalled right here before it got down to 180 or whatever the fuck. And boom, boom. That shit, the 30 climbed up. The 30-year was screaming this entire time. So we haven't had the... I mean, just look how long this plays out for. And the 30 just tried to climb back up right there, actually. And you got bigger profile steps than you've ever had since 2015. Or 215, I'm sorry. Now we need to look at the bid versus ask size. I mean, before the push, it was 15 to 5. And that was it. We need to look at the bid versus ask size, so because that is part of the information I do need to get. So 400 to 600, 300 to 1,000. This is before it breaks down. It's trying to build up size here. You can see it building size there. It definitely 1,500 to quite a bit, actually. Oh, was that it? Was that our trade? Shit. Was that the trade? Yeah, okay, we need to go back. Come on, and go back further. All right, I went back way too far. Was there cancels? Any pull size, iceberging, or absorption? Yeah, there was definitely absorption. Was there any lean size? Yeah, we definitely need to see if there's any lean size anywhere. Which there's definitely no lean size. It's an even 1,000, 14, 1,500. Come on, break. But again, the ZB is way off the fucking lows over here, and the motherfucker drops out from under our feet, right? So this is just a hard trade. I can see why it would be a good trade, but it realistically in real life, it's just such a hard trade. Because it craps out right here. So let's see. We're really weak across the board, actually. Yeah. That was actually a good sign to go for that break trade right there. There is no lean size at all, so. Lean size? Nope. Put not available because there is none. Bid versus ask. This is gonna be tricky to figure out. Come on, drop back in. So about 1,000 to. It's really hard to say. It's pretty even, actually. $300, 1,000. They're definitely fucking cancellations. Even. Lots of. So we're going to put lots of pumping and pulling. Pumping and pulling, not humping. Lots of pumping. And. Oops, shit. Pulling. On both sides. All right, so we're coming into the final stretch, which is the cancels, pulls, iceberg, absorption. Yeah, there's definitely fucking absorption. Yes. Again, 185 and 190. Really, it seems like 190 was the level where. So let's see if there's any cancellations. Really gonna narrow it down here. Oops, let me bring that back up. Was there cancellations? Alright, so drop in for us. So we got 1221 right here, and there's 500. So theoretically, that should go to 18. Yeah, they're fucking really. So that should be 2,500. Yeah, only 2,000. Shit. Was there icebergs? No. No. Yes. There were cancellations. Yes, so we'll just put yes. Pull size. Lots of ticking. Hard to pinpoint. This is more of a question for a slower trade. So lots of back ticking, hard to pinpoint. Yeah, that's it. So the next thing is I want to take a screenshot, upload the video link here. Oh shit, I don't have the video link for that one. Yep, that was that trade review right there.